today's Monday memory, I want to kick things off talking a little bit about a trend that has been resurfacing, a trend that I personally love, and also really, really like to style my clients in. And I will tell you why in a moment. But it is Peplum. Peplum is coming back, you guys. Like it is coming back in structured silhouettes. It's coming back in soft silhouettes. But the reason why I really like to style clients in it is that it is an instant way to create that hourglass figure. Okay. You've got the waist that's defined, it's cinched in, and typically you've got like a strong shoulder, but then that peplum pops out, that kind of second half of the bodice almost forms like an A line. It's really, really, really lovely. It is like an instant, shape maker, if you want to call it, especially if you are kind of straight up and down and you don't really have a lot of curves, right? If your measurements are kind of the same between your bust, your natural waist, and your hips, the peplum tops and jackets are the great way to create that hourglass shape. So let's take a moment to take a look at and thank you for the thumbs up. And by the way, if you're watching and not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, right? So that you get notifications and click that notification bell so you get the notifications when we have new comments or content posted. And speaking of comments, I definitely want you to drop your comments in. Let me know what you're thinking about what I'm talking about as I move from segment to segment, because this show is really about educating and entertaining you, a little bit of edutainment, right, in the style and fashion realm. But I love, love, love getting your feedback and questions and thoughts. So let's get active in the chat session. But thank you everyone for the thumbs up that you were giving so far. All right, so let's take a closer look at Peplum. I'm going to share my screen here. And so here we see, again, Peplum it's back. And again, I love it because it can be Peplum can be like minimalist and it could be really, really maximalist, right? But it does highlight your shape. We're seeing that right here in the article, right? It is highlighting, it says subtly highlights your shape. I think it can be subtle, but I think it can be extremely dramatic, right? So let's take a look at some really pretty peplum moments here. I mean, like, look how beautiful this is. And this is kind of it looks like it's a one piece, so it's a dress, but the dress has that peplum moment just sitting right underneath that natural waist, drawing the eye to that smallest portion of her torso. Very beautiful. The flow is absolutely amazing here. Let's scroll down here. Okay, this I love. This is really cool. So they're saying that this one is kind of an organic silhouette. Um, I just love the contrast between the black and the white. I love how, the white fabric is just so soft, it gently gathers. Look, we even have a little like bow moment going on right in the center. But just something really striking and not a typical way that you would see peplum, right? So that's cool. Here's another dress moment, right? That is really, really pretty. So here we have more of a maxi length dress, but then the accent on the piece is all about that peplum. And it looks like all they did was that they just took a layer of, looks like a soft kind of like taffeta. It could be silk as well. And they just put it right there in the waist. Fantastic. All right, so here we are doing it in a little bit of a kind of a like a gothic, otherworldly kind of like almost like a period piece. Doesn't this look a little bit Elizabethan? I do, right? But here we have a moment where this is a short dress. It looks like kind of over the knee boots on, suede boots, with a mini dress, but then we still have an interesting peplum moment. And the peplum is actually split. It doesn't go all the way around, it's split. So peplum can be, as we're seeing here and in the last photo, it can be something that is put onto that natural waistline, or it's something that can be all in one piece. All right. Okay, so here's a really good example. This is another way you can rock peplum, right? So this one is almost kind of playing in that empire waist. This one sits higher up, and it's a more the peplum portion, the skirt portion is longer. This fabric is a little bit more drapey. This looks like it could be kind of like a structured cotton. So maybe not as kind of like thick, perhaps, as like a jacket. Has a little bit of movement. But yeah, look at look at this. Uh-huh, hugging your curves all the way. So these are some examples of some peplum pieces, right? So here's a really, this is one of the subtle ones, right? Peplum does not have to be an angle that's popping out like 45 degrees, exactly. It can be softer. This one is just a really, really light drape, and this is just lace put on this kind of sequiny top and looks like somewhat of a silk pants or skirt. Very, very cool. Here's another great peplum moment here, right? Business casual look. I think this is a little bit more than business casual personally, because we have some cutouts on the side, but like, look how gorgeous that is. Look at that hourglass. That's what we're working for. I love that. Celebrating the woman's shape. Absolutely fabulous. Here's a really beautiful piece right here. And then we've got this gorgeous sculpting. So the peplum doesn't necessarily have to just lay straight. You can have fun with that. It can add some dimension. Look, there are two layers here. Just absolutely stunning. This one's interesting. So metallic. So this looks like a resin. This one is a mold. Okay, a peplum top that is a mold, very futuristic, right? And it's almost like, kind of like a little bit of a naked look there, right? But really, really cool. So those are some of the pieces of from the article, and the article also is going to be, the link is going to be in our show notes, so you can read that article, get some inspiration. But I'm going to show you two what I'm wearing today. When I was kind of thinking about what do I want to do for the show today, I was like, you know what, I've got a peplum jacket that I want to show my girls. So here's one of my peplum pieces. This is a jacket by Louis Vuitton. I think this is actually my very first ready to wear piece by Louis Vuitton. So structured jacket, structured in terms of like, it's tailored, but it has like a little bit of a kind of a blousy moment in the top half, which I really like. And you see that kind of carry through around the back. But here's a great example of a jacket, and all of it is one piece. We do have a little bit of a layering moment here. So if we come close and see, instead of it just being one piece carried around, we actually have a little bit of a layer on both sides. So that just adds some visual dimension. I really like the way it looks, and the color is absolutely stunning. It's gray, but it has a sheen to it. So it's almost like a metallic look, but it doesn't look too crazy. I see some thumbs up here. I'm guessing that you like the jacket. Definitely one of my favorites. And this is something that I wear to business meetings. Really, I primarily wear it for business because of the look. But you could definitely transition this from day to night. Instead of wearing kind of black pants, you can do a great mini skirt, or you can do a full length. If you want to do something dramatic, do a really like maxi length skirt. I think that would be fantastic. But just wanted to show you all a little bit of peplum love there. And then one other thing I wanted to show you in the peplum realm, before we move on to my next Monday memory, is this really cool piece by Lafayette 148. For those of you that work with me, that are my clients, you know that I work very, very closely with this brand. I get their collection 4 times a year. Just amazing, amazing pieces. And this past collection, or the current season, they're moving more into resort right now, but fall, winter, this Jacquard metallic leaf page jacket was absolutely amazing. I had a client that got this jacket, and she paired it with some black pants because they do actually have matching pants to it. But it's a beautiful, beautiful silk jacquard print, and the gold details that you're seeing on it that looks like a fan. It's actually not a fan. They're supposed to be the leaves of a book opening, because the inspiration for Emily Smith, the creative director for Lafayette 148, for this season's collection, was centered on authors, particularly women authors and books. So we saw that theme kind of repeated throughout different really different pieces in the season. But anyway, I'm calling this one out because I will say, and the model looks lovely, but she is pretty tiny. She does not do the jacket justice. When you get this on a lady that has like curves, ooh, I mean, the peplum is popping, y'all. Okay, it is popping. It looks so good. And I ran into her the other day. She actually showed me a picture of the event she wore it to, and she's supposed to text it to me. I wish I had it. I would show you. She looked absolutely amazing in it. So I just wanted to show this to you. And if you're interested in this piece, they do still have it available. The link for this is in the show notes. So definitely click on that. And if you're interested, get it before it goes out. I'm surprised that they even still have, they may or maybe only have like a couple sizes available, because it was a very popular piece this season across the board. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Absolutely beautiful peplum moment. All right. So in my next Monday memory that I want to share with you, this is a an event that took place, ooh, maybe it was, I think, 3 weeks ago, maybe closer, almost a month ago. And it is the Fashion Group International, FGI Dallas Night of Stars. So FGI, for those of you who do not know, FGI is the industry hub for an association for everything fashion, beauty, um, just anything in that world rolls up under FGI. They're headquartered in New York. It is a global organization, and there are thousands of members globally, as you can imagine. I too am a member of FGI. I've been a member now for I'm going to say 8 years. And I actually serve on the board for our Dallas chapter. I'm coming into my third year now serving on the board. Um, Fantastic organization, and it is based on education, and educating those in the fashion industry. So whether you're a stylist, a fashion designer, or fashion retail owner, artist, all of that, there's something for you there. But anyway, every year we have our Night of Stars gala, and the gala is really to celebrate those talents that have come through in the fashion industry, and really celebrate their achievement and recognize them. It's so easy to go throughout a career and then you're just grinding, 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 grinding. It's so nice to be able to stop and take a moment and actually recognize what people are doing and what they're contributing in their space. And fashion is really a hotbed of creativity, and just like people that just think of these designs and structures and materials in ways that most of us do not. There's definitely an art form to it, and I just absolutely love it. That's why I love fashion. You all know that. But anyway, annually we have this huge event, and this is the biggest fashion event in Dallas annually. It really, really is. Everybody comes out to it. Usually there's several hundred people that attend. I know when we did it last year, we were at a bigger venue. We were at the Thompson last year, and I think we had like 1,100 people. This year we were at the Ritz-Carlton. It was a little bit smaller, but still hundreds of people. It was gorgeous and amazing. But this year was like a massive, massive, massive lineup for our honorees. So we were honoring Beth Ann Hardison. We honored Nina Garcia, which a lot of people know her from Project Runway. But she also is the editor of Marie Claire magazine. And then also, did she move on from that? She may have moved on for that now that I think about it. I can't remember. And then we also recognized the big one, which Christian Siriano, amazing designer who was also from Trump Project Runway. If memory serves me, I think he was in the very first season, if you're a fan of the show. But anyway, we were honoring these individuals, and I mean, it was star studded. Let's see, Tyson Beckford, he was the one that presented the Lifetime Achievement Award to Beth Ann Hardison, and Alicia Silverstone presented the award, the Christian's award to him. So it was just an amazing evening, and I just want to take you through again a little bit of the Monday memory. So of course, with it being fashion, like we all show out here in Dallas with fashion. But actually, I'll show you one other picture as well. So this lady right here on the right in purple, this is Beth Ann Hardison, and Beth Ann Hardison is she is a powerhouse. She is a mover, shaker, she's a disruptor, and she's a former model. And if you just look her up on Google, there's a really, really famous picture of her that was taken, I want to say it was in the 70s. And it's a black and white photo, absolutely just gorgeous. And it's an iconic photo. And if you see it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, I've seen that before. Because it's always in like books, and you see it recurring in fashion magazines if they're doing kind of any like historical look backs. But anyway, she is most known and celebrated her for, and what we were celebrating her for was her contribution to fashion in terms of getting women of color on the runway, and getting them in print magazines. She had her own modeling agency for several years, with the mission to do just that. Just, I mean, unbelievable. So we had the opportunity in the lead up to the Night of Stars. A couple nights before, there was a screening of her new documentary. And gosh, for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. We'll update the show notes with it. But it's playing in select theaters. I would highly encourage that you go see it. And maybe, Annie, if you can maybe drop it in, if you can look it up, or if you remember it, if you can drop it, Invisible Beauty. There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Annie. Invisible Beauty. It was a documentary about her rise, how she got into modeling, the impact that she made in the industry, and what she does right now. It is so incredibly moving. And I know I came out of the screening thinking, man, I still have a lot to do. All of us did. All of us did. So it was so inspirational. So I was very fortunate and lucky that I got invited to a dinner afterward where she was, of course, the guest of honor. So the shot that you see of me here is me chatting with Beth Ann and telling her how much I enjoyed the movie. And what was really cool, I also told her this, was that she's from New York. She's from Brooklyn, as am I. She went to high school at the where my aunt and uncle went to high school, and it was literally a block away from where I lived. Wingate High School in Brooklyn, for those that are Brooklynites. And so I had to go over and tell her, I'm like, I'm exactly where you're from. So we had a really great moment, and chatted a little bit. And she's hilarious. She doesn't take herself too seriously, and she's very, very gracious. So I wanted to share that special moment with me and Beth Ann. Me, like, I'm like, get out of my way. I pushed myself into the table. I was like, I'm gonna have my moment with her. And one of my friends snapped this picture, which I didn't even know about until the next day. So thank you for that. But let's talk about Night of Stars. I'm going to share with you what I wore. So this was my outfit to the Night of Stars event. And there's a really cool story behind this. So I'm wearing this. Oh my gosh, it almost looks kind of like it could be its own Peplum moment, right? if it was a little bit higher, and we don't want it to go higher because that was a mini dress for real. Like I had to wear, I actually was wearing little hot pants underneath it, because it was very, very up there. But that was the whole point of the dress. And it's Night of Stars, you got to show out. So this beautiful dress was designed by Bach Mai. He's an emerging designer as well, based out of New York. And his pieces I know are carried in Neiman Marcus. That's where I ordered this dress through, about well, not 5 months ago. It was in April when I ordered the dress, and I ordered it specifically for the November event because it took about 2 to 3 months to deliver. But we were invited to a luncheon with Bach Mai where he was showing, at that time, his fall winter collection, and this was, I think this was on a mannequin. I do not think it was modeled. They had a sample and I actually tried it on. So if you follow me on Instagram, and definitely like take a look, if you're not following me, subscribe, follow whatever it is that we do on Instagram. We got all these follows, subscribes. It's just a little bit too much, right? But follow me on Instagram. But if you scroll back and look at some photos and reels, there's a collage of me actually modeling some of his pieces. There were samples there. Of course, I was gonna try them on, and I put this dress on, and I about died. I was like, "Oh my God, this is my dress for Night of Stars this year." Because I usually get my dress months ahead of time, because I it's such a big event that I want to know what I'm going to wear. I don't want to wait to the last minute. But oh my heavens, I put it on and I felt amazing, and that's what a good wardrobe and good pieces will do for you, right? So anyway, I fell in love, placed my order, and then it got delivered. It was in April. I think it was like the beginning of July when I was able to pick it up, and it was ready, fit perfectly, fit just like the sample, was on point. We were somewhat done. So fast forward to getting into, the week of Night of Stars. We were so busy. Like the fall and winter season, it's always the busiest season for us, and we were just busy with clients. We had back-to-back trunk shows here at the studio. I had just completed a house move, so which we're still settling in. I mean, it was just chaos. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get shoes, and I had no idea what kind of shoe I was going to get. The dress itself, it's kind of a like a iridescent lame, and so it's got, you can see the beautiful kind of green color, like that's the color. But when you shift, it has like ombre moments of like navy blue kind of morphing into like a deep purple. Really, really gorgeous. So I was thinking, okay, well, if I get like a purplish shoe or like a navy blue shoe, something in that family, I would be able to work it and be fine. So I was like, okay, I need to find a shoe. So this is just a few days before the event, which I normally don't wait this far, like, or too close to an event to know what I'm wearing, like the full outfit. But again, we were just slammed, and that was not a priority for me at that moment. So my husband and I, we went to Nordstrom. So big love to Nordstrom on this. And I got these beautiful pair of Jimmy Choo shoes. And my husband is the one that actually spotted it. It was sitting up on one of those kind of acrylic feet. It was a clear foot. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so pretty. What I saw first was the green. And the green was like, it wasn't the exact color of my dress, but close enough. But it also had its ombre moment too, where it turned into like this bluish purple, like the heels like a bluish purple, and it has like all the sparklies on it. The chain strap is blue stone. I mean, this could not be the more perfect. And Annie, actually, you know what? We should add this to the comment section too, if that shoe is still available, in case anyone's interested in getting that Jimmy Choo. That shoe is fabulous and it is comfortable. It was amazing. So that was the shoe moment. And then my handbag was my collab Tiffany Fendi baguette. So stay tuned because there's going to be a little bit more info on that. But this was my ensemble, and I loved wearing it. I'm going to show you a little video of more of a close up of my outfit. There we go. So you can see the dress, and there's the shoe. Look at the shoe moment. And now we pan back up to the dress. So you can see the fluidity from a color standpoint. It was strapless, a very simple piece. It's one of these things where, like less and more. Look at that. I'm cheesing for the camera. I mean, I felt like a queen. I felt like a queen that evening in that dress. That dress was just everything. So I wanted to share that moment with you, but I have a couple other great memories from that event as well. So here's a picture of me and my husband. Um, so there he is looking dapper, doing his black tie moment. And every time I look at this picture, I just laugh. My hubby, when he smiles for the camera, he just goes like this, right? And he smiles like normally when you're talking. Like I don't understand why he does that, but that's what he does. So let's forget about his crazy smile in this one. But we had a great evening. So that was our cute little moment together. And then this picture I love. So this is another little mini story. This is my friend Peter. Peter owns an amazing florist business here in Dallas. He does a lot of very, very high end installations for his clients. And I think it was 1 or 2 days before we were on the phone, just kind of coordinating for when we were going to meet up because we were sitting together. And he was like, Roxanne, what are you wearing? He's like, I'm thinking about wearing this. And what he's wearing Dolce. And he told me, he didn't tell me the color, but he was like, I'm wearing this iridescent suit. And he was like, it's got a vest in it. He was like, do you think I should wear a shirt with it or not? I'm like, absolutely not. Do not wear a shirt. From the way you're describing the suit stands out all on its own. Like that's going to be the moment. But he said iridescent. So I had almost told him that, wow, my dress has an iridescent flare to it too. But I was like, nah, let me hold it because I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised and I want him to be surprised because I knew that he was going to come correct. So anyway, we arrived and he's already at the venue. He got there probably about 10 minutes before I did. And we're in the lobby area and I spot him and he spots me and we literally like just scream in like glee because he's looking at my dress and the colors and I'm looking at his suit. I'm like, oh my God. And everybody's looking at us. It looked like we planned it and was not planned. So this was such a genuine moment. So we got our picture um, for them on the step and repeat. It was just so awesome. He looked absolutely amazing. Big up to Dolce on this. This suit is amazing. But look, it looked like we were a couple based on the outfit, but Peter looked absolutely fabulous. So that was my moment with Peter, and I also got to interact. Unfortunately, because there was a lot of things going on as people were arriving, and especially as we went to the ballroom. But I had the opportunity to speak and welcome Nina Garcia to the event. She is so sweet, so humble, very soft spoken. And she's like literally like this big. Amazing woman, and the gown that she wore is absolutely fabulous. She looked amazing. I think she was wearing Siriano. And then so I talked with her, and then I also had a little moment with Alicia Silverstone too. And that was, I kind of saw her kind of like, milling about doing her thing. But because she was presenting to Christian Siriano, she was seated next to him. So I was kind of standing and waiting to get my moment with Christian Siriano, which I did. And I'll show you that in a moment. But at that point, she was seated. So while I was waiting for him, I just kind of went over and I bent over and welcomed her too. And fortunately, because I'm on the board, that was like an easy way in. So it wasn't like I was like a random person. we brought this whole thing together. And so the whole event. So I was kind of bent down talking to her, and she paid me the most lovely like compliments. And she was just so easy and sweet to talk to. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, Roxanne, keep calm, keep calm. I'm not typically starstruck, but I never thought that I would have the opportunity to get up close and personal with Alicia Silverstone and have a conversation with her. I'm like, I'm just thinking clueless, 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 right? So what was funny was that my assistant Rosa, she was at the event with us that night too, and she didn't realize that Alicia was going to be there. So she was starstruck. So Rosa didn't get a snap of us because she was just like, she like couldn't comprehend, she couldn't compute. She was like, oh my god, that's her. So that was really really cute that that Rosa had that moment. But then shortly thereafter, then I got to introduce myself to Mr. Cristiano, so, or Christian Siriano rather. So here's our picture together. So look at him, he's doing his little pose. I love that. So that was a really cool moment, and it was nice that he took the time, because a lot of people, of course, he was the main attraction. A lot of people wanted to interact with him. But there's Alicia right there, um, on the on to his left, looking on the right on the screen in the white. She's facing away, but she's in the white suit. That was, of course, Christian Siriano. So that was a really cool moment. But the best part of the night was the fashion show. That was the closing part. It was about 20 minutes, and I took video of it, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to. I'm not going to necessarily show every single look because it's a long video, but I want you to see like how amazing this was. And the the show was actually um, kind of an overview of his collections over the years. So some were newer pieces, but a lot of them were like archive pieces. And oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Everything was gorgeous. There was not one look that came down the runway that I did not thoroughly like enjoy and say that I want in my closet. So I'm going to show you a little bit of this. And I do have the sound turned off because it, copyright with music and all that, like I don't want to be getting into all that. But this was when I was at my table. They were just getting started. Let me see if I can fast forward this a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So this is the first look. I mean, like, look at this. Unreal, right? I think at that point I had gotten up from my table, and I just stood and I just took video. So, I mean, that hat. So we were talking about a peplum. That was a peplum moment there. Look at this. Look at the sleeves. What? I could watch this all day. And these models were fantastic. I think most of the models were our Dallas models. One of the models that was in the show was actually one of the models that I had at my 10-year anniversary party earlier this year, modeling some looks that we had. So I was really happy to see her. But yeah, look, I mean, just look at the structure and look at her. Look, she's coming down with some feist. I freaking love it. Yes, honey, work that waist. Look at her. Look at the crowd. This is fashion. This is the moment. This is what it's all about. But look at the fluidity in the moment. Christian is so good with textiles and layering. You would remember this and see this from Project Runway for sure, right? Um, just unbelievable. Oh man, check this out. Leg moment. That dress actually is pretty similar in shape to the one I wore that night. This one's definitely more, more dramatic in terms of the sculpt, but look at that. Yes. So we've got that kind of the panel added onto the back of the skirt, but it's split into two. This is something that I would definitely wear. I don't know what collection this one is from, what year, but this is a classic timeless piece. This will always look amazing. Absolutely love it. Yeah, look at this. Wow, look at that leg moment. You look at that super high split on her left. Yeah, show that leg over here. There we go. Ah, and the sleeves. Like, how innovative is this? The sleeves are completely detached from the dress. They're living in their own thing. I mean, they're like wings that you could just take off, but the floral, right? The ruching of the sleeve, the drape on that gown, phenomenal. Here we go. We've got a trumpet dress moment here. And so look at this on her right arm. That is a glove. But I like, and there's another moment where they do this in another look, but the glove is just on one hand. I think that's just beautiful. When I see these looks, it for me, and I was commenting to the ladies that I was hanging out with that evening, particularly when we were taking video, was that this he really kind of like for me channels like Christian Dior. He knew how to work a woman's body. I mean, just look at this. All you see is shape, shape, shape. Every look that comes down a runway. Look at this crop jacket showing that little bit of skin. Yes, just gorgeous. Unbelievable. The hats, and look at that strong shoulder. I mean, you could not wear this with confidence, okay? Another gorgeous look here. And I'm going to move through and see because there are a bunch of looks here. That's a cool kind of like coat moment. Look at the detail, yeah, on the bows on that. That's really pretty. And I like how we're showing some exposure of that underlayment. Oh yeah, this is one of the ones that I love. Look at this chartreuse, a balloon effect, right? Almost like I mean, she just looks like a big flower. The color, stunning. It's like a yellow, almost green. We've got the deep V both in the front and the back, just drama all the way. Oh yeah, I loved this one. So here we've got those look like ostrich feathers to me. I love ostrich feathers because they're light and airy and they just give movement all the time. But she's got the tail going on. I just love that. Beautiful, beautiful moment. All right, what else do we have coming down? Oh, this was absolutely lovely too. Look at this soft lilac. This is such a romantic piece. And look at this high-low moment in the hemline. This is what I'm talking about right here. I mean, I love dresses that show legs. I love legs. But this is just it's so thoughtful, it's so simple, but it just moves. And then, the top part, it almost looks like she has wings that she's gonna, take off. This was a popular one that evening. And there's another iteration of this one coming down. I think perhaps right after this. So we've got some more evening wear, the glitz and the glam. Look at the movement, right? So we're taking that flapper moment, but we're completely modernizing it and getting that structure of that jacket up top, but then we're switching the sleeves out. Love it. Yes, this is the one with the pants. Look at these pants. Gorgeous, right? Unreal. That is such a fun piece. The whole ensemble. Yeah, that's just movement all the way. All right, let's see what else we got coming down. Yeah, look at this number. Also flower moment. So we've got some lace. We've got kind of three-dimensional flowers like appliques on the dress. But again, look at that fluid movement. Unbelievable. All right, let's move through. Oh yeah, this is a fun piece. Look at that hat. What? Oh yes, honey. So another sheer suit. You got to be pretty daring to wear something like this. Um, but man, he delivers certainly for the woman that has that personality. So that's what I like about Christian Siriano. You know, he has classic pieces like what we see coming down here, but then he has pieces that are like classic with a twist, and it adds a dimension of edge. It adds romanticism. Just really, really cool stuff. Gorgeous, kind of simple gown here. Oh, I loved this. Look at this. So we've got kind of our sequins and lace up top, but then the bottom half is all just all feathers. Beautiful drape, beautiful blush pink, unreal. Oh yeah, our famous cutout. So this one was a cute look. We'll fast forward through this one. Another ball gown. Oh, this ball gown had look at that sheer moment on the bottom half of the skirt. Really, really cool. This was also another great one. So bigger flowers, right? We've got a crop top, super fitted. The skirt is really fitted in that waist, that high waist, but all dimension, dimension, dimension. So, you know, when you wear black for an evening gown, black doesn't have to be boring, right? Getting texture involved. Like, look at this. Okay, speaking of texture here. So this is a very, very light sage green gown. But then we've got this layering moment of the feathers both pointing down, but then at the very top, it's pointing up, serving, completely serving. Christian, 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 lovely. All right, let's see what we got next. That was a cool look. I do remember that one. Oh, yeah, this was a dramatic piece right here. So this one was interesting because we've got a whole side bustle going on that's exposed. So one side has a bustle on her left side, but the right side has a bustle as well. But that's part of the design of the dress. She almost lost her hat there. They need to remember the big old hat pins that our grandmas used to wear to church? They need to put the hat pin in there. Oh, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Black, but with a statement and edge. I remember when this came down, I was like, I would wear this in a heartbeat. This is so my style right here for evening wear. I mean, if I could get my hands on that, I would wear that to next year's Dynasty Stars Gala. So pretty, right? Oh man. Okay, let's fast forward because my ultimate favorite piece. Oh, this one's really pretty. This one feels a little, it's like it almost wants to be ethereal because of the color and the texture of the skirt part of the dress, right? We've got a tulle going on, but the top is black sequins. Look at that contrast. And there we see that sleeve, that one glove again. Look at this one looks like it's literally like lit up with light bulbs, right? Whatever kind of metallic leafing he's got going on here, clearly you can see the lighting is picking up. I mean, and this is the model, this is my model that was at my 10-year anniversary party that we have her modeling looks. She's amazing. I see her around town all the time. This is one of the romantic pieces. I think this is so pretty and so feminine. And this is a little bit of a preview of what I think is my very, very favorite look, which is at the very end. But that had a little bit of romance. That was a favorite. Another beautiful black high-low hemline, another black gown. I mean, these models look really, really good in it. Oh, look at this. Okay, we got to stop for this one. What? Look at all of the beading, the stones. This dress has to be so heavy. But we've got the hat, we've got the shrug. I mean, it shimmers, 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 shimmers. It does not stop giving. What a statement piece. Look at that train. I just love it. Okay, so This is it. This is my number one favorite piece. Look, she is working that dress on. This is my favorite piece of the entire night. And this is why the finale was done here. I mean, this is straight up Christian Siriano. So we've got the sheerness juxtaposed with the florals and then the different colors. We've got the black flowers, the soft white ones, the soft pink. Just, I mean, look at that. And we know he loves his flowers. I mean, look at the backdrop. Beautiful, beautiful. So then it just finishes with, of course, the final, all the ladies kind of coming down the runway. There we go. There's the march. So we get to see all the beautiful looks one final time. It's such a treat. So fun. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And what was really, I would say, special about this show was that Christian apparently never shows outside of New York, at least not stateside. I'm sure he probably does it in abroad, but in America, he only shows in New York. So for him to come to Dallas um, and share this with us in this really intimate setting, of course, we're celebrating him, but I know a lot of work. The committee that put this whole event together, the chairs for this, they've been working literally since this time last year. It takes a whole year to build up the entire show, and the weeks coming down to it and coordinating with his people in New York, it was a lot of work getting all the dresses down here, the fitting for the model. Here he is for his final kind of bow, right? And Christian, he is a little tiny thing. Let me tell you, I knew he was tiny from what I could tell in pictures, but in meeting him, he is teeny, teeny, tiny. He was actually at the Beth Ann Hardison screening that we went to, and he was actually seated in the aisle in front of me and my team. So I didn't say hi to him that night or anything like that, but that was pretty cool. That was the first time that I had seen him in person. I was like, oh, he's a teeny weeny little guy, but teeny little guy with big ideas. Clearly, an amazing designer. So I really hope that that you enjoyed that trip down memory lane with me. That memory lane that was only 3 weeks ago, right? But I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And yes, Feminine Her says, yes, I caught a live. So glad to have you. I'm glad that you're watching. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about those looks that Christian sent down the runway, kind of highlighting the best of his career. Christian Siriano, amazing designer. Again, I'm fall in love again. I could watch that video over and over and over. I'll probably watch it again later today because I love it so much. But thank you for watching, and let's get on to our next segment. Let's see. What